You're watching the Batter Fans Network.
The heroes are back. Beards talking balls, rapping pink and black. Coming live from the 305, it's official tissue. The Batter Fan, Chris and Dan, weekly rocking with you. We talk Messi, Boosie, Jordy, Lucho, the Fat Four, to Ben Cram, Noah, Ruiz, Fred. What more could you ask for? Tighten up and get ready, listen in on the pod. Solana and X in Espanol, just to even the odds. Breakdowns and gas bagging, join the tribe and just vibe. $3.99, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't hesitate, say what's up, go ahead and come in. No question about it, I'm ready to get hurt again.
No question about it, I am ready to get hurt again.
Matt, the Herons are back. Welcome to another episode of the Batter Herons podcast. I am your host, Chris Duran, and alongside me is none other than Matty Ice from SoFlo Soccer. Matty, what's going on, brother?
Everything's good. I will never get old of that nickname. I love it. I'm going to tell everybody that's my new nickname, Matty Ice. I love it so much.
Yeah, ice in the veins.
No, for real. But thank you so much for having me for another episode. I'm really excited to talk about this game and react to it because I feel like we have quite a bit to go over.
Well, I mean, look, it was an eventful game. More eventful in the second half, I guess, in the first half. But first, I guess, before we get into the actual game, everybody was looking at the atmosphere, right? Like how packed it looked or how many people went out there. What was your thoughts? What were your thoughts on the atmosphere of the game itself?
Of the game, well, I don't know if I'm crazy.
Or of the fandom and the game.
So, I mean, I saw a lot of clips, obviously, beforehand, and beforehand is always so super, super crazy, and so which is always awesome, and there's a lot of love for Messi and the team in Panama. For the game itself, I don't know if it was just me or like people who kept coming in late, but at least for the first half, like it looked like half empty.
Yes.
Yeah, it was like I was shocked because I'm like, we just sold out an 80,000 seat stadium, and now it's like we're coming to Panama and like there's nobody. So I'm like, what happened there?
It's a weird thing. And by the way, for everybody that's asking, where's Danny? Danny is out celebrating his father's birthday. So congrats to Danny Sr. He's out there celebrating his birthday. They're having a little party and stuff.
We weren't invited.
Yeah, we weren't invited, unfortunately. We're not important enough here, guys. Sorry. But as far as you're right about the atmosphere, it did look a little less than I anticipated as far as packed is concerned. It started to fill in a little bit, but it's funny when I was watching it on our Discord, the game, Peach has actually brought up the fact that it looks like a pretty big stadium. And Don Cavacito brought up it only sat like 35,000 people, but it looked huge.
I mean, I think like when you look at it from like the outside, right? Like when you get like that really wide angle, it just looks huge. But only 30,000. I wasn't expecting only 30,000, and definitely, I think maybe 15, maybe half of that were actually in attendance because that's really disappointing, honestly. When you have Messi in town and you have all the Barca guys.
Yes.
I was not expecting that at all. But anyway, I mean, it caught me off guard. Me and my dad were talking about it. We were like, why is it? I'm like, are they just getting here late? And even like when the game like was like, even in the second half, like it didn't even fill up as much or at all. I don't know. But I thought it was super, super weird.
Well, and look at what George is saying. This makes a lot of sense. In Panama, baseball is more popular than football. Which, I mean, that's I guess it's somewhat true. I never really thought that Panama had like this football culture. I do know that they have a lot of baseball and basketball players that come out of Panama. So, I mean, maybe that can make a little bit of a difference. Mr. Krabs, I do have hair. Okay, I'll show it one day. Okay, it's not like prepared or anything like that. It's a freaking mess. The dude Abires is mentioning the stream was a nightmare. Before we start about the starting 11, I mean, I mentioned something in the Discord where after the stream crash, I just pictured two guys like in a control room with cables in their hands, calling Panama on a landline. It was a disaster.
It was so bad. I was sitting there all confused. I was sitting there on my couch. I like mirrored it from my laptop to my TV. And the broadcast like completely stopped. So I'm like, oh, I thought it was buffering. I thought it was on me. And then I looked on my screen and it's like, no, they completely ended it. So I
Yeah.
knew they were shitting their pants. I know for a fact. They were like, they're gonna get fired. Like somebody's getting fired. I know,
Yeah,
I know that for a
absolutely.
fact.
Absolutely. And it sucked. But luckily, for those of you that are on our Discord, you could have gone on there, been able to watch it there. We'll go ahead and leave a link down below in the
Oh, yeah.
comments or in the whatever, the little information box on the bottom. And look, Edison is saying 480p quality at best. I mean, it was a little bit better than 480p. It wasn't 480p exactly.
Hey man, you got to watch the game. We were actually
Yes.
able to watch the game. And
Yes.
unlike these people who actually work in communications. But,
Yeah.
I mean,
And
how long was that even down for? Sorry. How was it?
it was down, I'd say, like around the 30th minute, up until, from what I didn't even go back to it. I just ended up watching on the Discord. They popped it back up again, but then it went down again. Then by
Oh
the
my
second
God.
half, they popped it back up again. It was a disaster.
That is so
I mean,
bad.
look, when World One goes saying it was a nightmare, she was watching a video game for 35 minutes while cooking pasta and chicken. So, yeah, Cynical Tube says Discord saved the day.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Like
man.
watching FIFA gameplay instead of the actual game. I remember my parents used to fall for that all the time. Back like a couple years ago when they would see like FIFA gameplay on TV and they'd be like, "Oh my God,
Yes.
like I didn't know they were playing today." I'm like, "No, it's a game." Like it's a game. Like I thought it was funny.
Listen, I had a coworker that was telling me he was watching Messi play against Barcelona because he saw a video game stream, and I'm like, "You're watching a freaking video game stream." What an
Oh my
idiot.
God, dude.
I mean, it happens, I guess, you know, if you don't fact check it and stuff. Miami Total Football, shout out to you with the laughing emoji. Much appreciated. Shout out to Miami Total Football Radio. I didn't roll my R's that time, but let's keep it moving. Starting 11.
Let's do it.
So here I'm going to pop up the starting 11. So here we have in the back, we got Ustadi that makes the start in goal. Alba left back, Weigant right back, and then Allen and Aviles at the center back role. Kremaki played left mid. Allende played the right mid. Busquets, and it wasn't Redondo, I think.
It was Bright.
It was Bright. So we'll just act like that's Bright.
Like that's Bright.
And then Suarez and Messi up at the top.
Oh yeah.
So of course, ignore Redondo. Just picture that as Yannick Bright. What did you think of the starting lineup?
I was like, thank God. Well, I'm glad that I can imagine Redondo was not in the lineup. I was so happy that Bright was in there. I thought he deserved it. There you go. I thought he deserved to be in there. I thought Redondo played really poor in the last 2 games. So I'm glad that Bright got in there. I'm happy that Allen and Aviles kept their spots in the defense. I was excited seeing Kremashi back in the lineup after being with the US, because he was looking like he was in good form, like staying fit. He was looking strong. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm kind of excited to see what he can bring when he came back to us. So that's also really excited. And with Ashende seeing Ashende getting another opportunity is also good, because I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot of him throughout the season in general. So I was feeling pretty good with the lineup. I don't know what people feel about Ustadi and goal. Or I don't know who people prefer, either Ustadi or Rocco. But I thought Ustadi looked pretty solid in net, I guess. I mean, he wasn't really contested too much, I don't think. But no, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a pretty good starting lineup. What about you?
Yeah, I thought it was. Look, I was surprised that they played Ben Krem at the left mid. I didn't think that they were going to do that. I thought they were going to still roll with the Fafa train.
Yeah.
But it was surprising. In the beginning, it was kind of refreshing to see Ben Krem play at the left mid. But his passing left a lot to be desired. I guess we'll talk a little bit about it in the breakdown. But I really like the fact that they gave Yannick Bright a shot over Redondo. I mean, he's earned it from some of his play from last season, and every time he's touched the pitch so far this preseason, he hasn't really disappointed in his defensive, I guess, his defensive play. I love that Noah Allen is still consistently getting the start. So that to me is probably one of the biggest things that stand out, is that it seems as if Mascherano really believes in Noah Allen.
1,000%.
So yeah, that's phenomenal. Is there anybody that you were expecting that would have started that didn't start?
I'm gonna be honest, and I can't say a name, but I thought for sure that Chelo was gonna hit the bench. And
Look
then
at that.
and here's there we go. Here's Kyra, or is it Kira?
Keyrat Kane.
Keyrat Kane. Yeah, well, maybe not Lujan, but I was like maybe like a Tyler Hall, maybe even like Ian Frey to get a start. But I just really want to see Chelo hit a bench for a game. I just feel like we just have not seen that ever because like actually no. Now that we say that, now that I'm talking about that, I'll probably talk about it later too. But
Yeah.
when Gressel came on, he played right back, which is something that absolutely refused to do. So that was good to see. But yeah, no, I was hoping that Chelo would get benched, and so he can taste what it's like being on the bench and not starting. Because I'm the biggest Chelo hater. I'm just gonna say it outright. I am.
It's such a weird thing because with Danny here, he's usually like the guy that defends Chelo, and then we have Rick A saying stop the Chelo slander. The thing is, it's so hard to criticize him because he doesn't really do anything great and he doesn't really do anything horribly wrong. So it's a tough situation to be in. And just before we get on to the next comment, shout out to Christian Reyes with the 199 Super Slam. He said, we need Alfonso to play.
I agree.
This would have been a perfect game for him to play.
Oh, 1000%. This would have been a perfect game for, I think, all the young guys to play, all the youth guys. Like, I'm glad we saw like Santi and whatever get in, but like Tyler Hall, like I said, Leo Alfonso, like this would have been the perfect game for these guys to play. I don't know why. I don't know why he did. Especially like he could have easily taken out Suarez or something for Leo Alfonso or whoever. You're not wrong, guys.
Well, I mean, look, Florida Man saying this is the Chelo game. Mike V saying hashtag Chelo winning. One word, one goal. Chelo is meh. Angel saying Chelo's doing good. I would rather have him than Frey. Oof, that's tough. That's tough. Well, let's. I mean, look, like I said, Chelo is in a weird space right now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Like, I don't want to interrupt you, but like, I don't know, Chelo. What bothered me about Chelo was that he was the only option that we had last year in 2024. And it really bothered me because it's like he has no competition. So whether he played good or not, he still played. And I mean, it's not his fault. I guess it's not his fault, right? But I just want to see him hit the bench. So it's like, okay, this spot is not guaranteed for me. Like, I want Chelo to know that spot is not guaranteed. That spot does not say Chelo Wengan on it. That spot could say Lujan. That spot can say Tyler Hall. That spot can say Gressel if Mascherano decides to play Gressel. So like, I just want Chelo to know that spot is not guaranteed. And for everybody, that goes for everybody, not just for Chelo, but for Chelo mainly because he was playing like game in and game out every single time. So that's why I'm kind of being a little bit more harsh on him.
Well, and if you really think about it, though, Matt, you have, for example, we have some stuff going on with the goalkeeper position. So you're seeing other goalkeepers get some playing time.
Oh, yeah.
You got some stuff happening in the left wing. You're seeing different people play the left wing, left mid position, right? So you're seeing like there's a disruption in those places. The right back position, who we see is not like really out of this world. And we have Lujan, who can possibly come in and take his job. We haven't even seen him play.
Yeah.
It's literally the only position that we're looking at and saying we could see a replacement there, and we haven't seen much disruption in that sort of position.
No, like 1,000%. And I mean, and I'm not saying that like we don't know what to expect from Lujan. Well, not that we don't know what to expect from Lujan, but Lujan can just come in and like he could absolutely flop.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. But it's like the one position where like you said, we just don't see any sort of rotation. I mean, it's the same thing for Jordi Alba too. I mean, like except for the times I guess that he gets subbed out and Noah Allen gets shifted to that role. But I just want to see more competitive competitiveness, more rotation in that role. And probably when Lujan and whatever gets cleared, I guess with his visa or whatever, we'll probably see more of it. But yeah, no, I'm just looking forward to when that comes.
Well, somebody mentioned that he had an assist and he defended in a fight.
He did get an assist.
So
he did,
and he defended Messi.
So
and
this doesn't really help my claim, right? It doesn't help.
It
doesn't help me hating on him at all. But no, I'm talking in general. But yeah, no, I guess for today's game, yes, he did well. This is probably the best I think we've probably seen him in a while.
Yes,
honestly, in my opinion, this is my opinion. Because I don't think he was mid last game, and I thought he was pretty mid in the game before that too. Like he didn't. I mean, like it's just kind of like you said, he doesn't do anything wrong, but he doesn't do anything outstanding. He's just kind of there. He fills that spot. But no, it is good.
Well, and Florida man is just constantly saying hashtag Matt out. I mean, let's get in. Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
No, you know what? No, actually, I there's no way that I'm the only one that doesn't rate Chelo as like our starting right back. There's zero chance that I'm the only one
you're not
hating on Chelo.
Listen, I think you're in the majority in this discussion of people that want him out. Like, I think a lot of people just kind of want more, and I think it's acceptable to want more out of the team that we currently have at this moment. It's acceptable. I mean, let's get into the recap, right? First half. What were your thoughts on the first half?
First half. So, I mean, in the beginning, we were looking pretty lively. I mean, lots of passes were being put together. We were getting some plays over the tops. And then we ended up getting some chances. Then all of a sudden they scored. I think they got like two chances, and then they ended up scoring one of them. And then it's like, and then you look at it, it's like, God damn, what are we doing? And then we were looking okay. Like, I don't know. We just kind of, we were looking okay for the rest of that first half. And then in this, I don't know. I mean, we definitely could have done better, but I thought we allowed them to get into the game a little bit, I think, and it probably more than we should have. But I definitely thought there were some good moments throughout the duration of that first half. I don't know what you thought.
I mean, what I thought in the beginning, right? There was a couple substitutions. There was a substitution made early for, I think, Sporting San Miguelito had an injury early in the game. To me, I think the first 10 minutes of the game swung very heavily towards Inter Miami, where we were a little bit more pursuant to score and to make things happen. And we're going to talk about that, Mike V. Mike V's got some words for Jordi Alba. Miami Total Football says first half was even. I mean, I'm telling you my opinion. I thought that the first 10 minutes were solidly for Inter Miami. After that, San Miguelito had control of the first half up until maybe the 30th, 35th, 40th minute, which coincidentally, San Miguelito ended up getting a goal in the 24th minute. I think I messaged you, Matt, where I didn't know whose fault it was. I don't know if you guys in the chat paid attention, but Ben Krem was playing further back on defense than Jordi Alba. But you mentioned something that stood out to me that I didn't even notice in the beginning on why he was further back than Jordi Alba.
Yeah. Do you want me to explain it, or do you want to do it?
Yeah. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, when Jordi was making an overlapping run there on the left, Benja had he had the ball, he lost possession, and then boom, San Miguelito were going on a counter. And so Benja, you can tell, if you look back at the clip, you can tell like Benja knew he fucked up. Like he knew he messed up. So he booked it. He booked it back on defense. He ended up getting back in position in a pretty good time. Like he recovered really well. And he was in position. He was in that left back role, filling in for Jordi, because Jordi, he didn't track back, or he didn't track back until much later.
Yeah.
And then Benja just got cooked. Like he with the through ball that like split in between both of him, and I think it was Aviles or whoever, Noah.
I think it was him and Noah. I think it was him and Noah.
It like split right in between them. He like pushed he like bit too much. Benja, he bit a little bit too much to the forward who had the ball, and then boom,
Yeah.
the guy had a space behind, so and then they scored. I put all the this. I don't want to sound harsh on Benja because I love Benja, but
Yeah.
that was definitely his fault on that, and I think he knows that for a fact that it was his fault. I know for sure.
Well, and it's a weird thing because in the beginning, when I first saw Benha play the left mid, I said, "Ooh, this could be pretty interesting."
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like it was working pretty well. His touch was better than what we're kind of used to. He was flowing a little bit better, but then getting out of like strange situations like he tried to do, where he had Jordy on that overlapping run.
Yeah.
Like you said, once he blew it, at least he has enough sort of Ghana and pace to make it back.
Yeah.
So that's why he was able to kind of make it back quickly enough. But you have Noah Allen who's trying to like hold the line with the other center backs.
Yep.
And Benha was just lost in the sauce at that point.
Yeah.
So it just exposed us at that point, you know?
But listen, so like let me throw this at you. So what if like Fafa was there? Or what if like Taylor was there and the same situation happened? Like, would they have made that? I mean, Fafa probably, but would they have made that recovery back and then be able to stop that? I feel like I don't know. I would say maybe not.
You know, it's an interesting question, but I don't know if they'd be able to, because I think at that point it's whoever it is, they're coming back like in full desperation mode.
Yeah.
Like
Oh no, for sure.
They're not synchronized with Noah Allen and Aviles. They're just trying to come back because they totally blew it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so if he's blowing it and all of a sudden he's just trying to run back, so it's like, okay, let Jordi Alba run back and get here so he can make up for the space. But I mean, from what I saw when the pass came in, Jordi Alba was well in front of him. So there was no way that he was going to be able to wait long enough for Jordi Alba to fill in his space.
No, 1000%.
I mean,
Everybody's hating on Chris.
Yeah.
I see right there in the comments. Oh my gosh.
I don't think, look, Ben Krem was under the onions and the sauce. Like, no, I don't think Ben Krem played that poorly. Like, his passing was kind of suspect later on in the game. At least to me, when I was watching it, his passing wasn't the best. There was times where we were trying to make a push on offense, and Ben Howe would kind of scoot it back and then distribute it to someone else in the middle of the pitch. I don't know if that was like meant to be like that, or if that was just him kind of, I guess, playing a little bit more reserved. But his passing, left a little bit to be desired, at least in my opinion.
I don't want to disagree with you, to be honest, on that one. I mean, like, I'm trying to look at his passes, right, or like look at his stats right now.
Yeah.
He had 15 total passes. He completed 12 out of the 15. So he has 80% completion rate.
Okay, my eyes.
So maybe it was just. I think he got dispossessed quite a bit. I think he did get dispossessed like 2 or 3 times. But no, I understand what you're trying to say though, because I don't think we've seen Benkham play in that left mid spot before, so it was interesting and it was new. I don't think that would be his best position, but at the same time, if he's gonna be losing possession like that, I'd rather him lose possession on the wing than in the midfield, because then even though him losing possession for the 1 goal we conceded, it did end up like on our counterattack, but besides the point. I'd rather have you would obviously rather lose possession on the wing, but no, I don't know. I would have to see more from Benka. I still rate him, and I still think I think he's looking good. He's looking fit, and he's developing well. But do we see Benka starting in that left mid spot in the regular season? I don't know. I don't know what everybody else thinks.
That's interesting. I mean, but look at what Mitch is saying. He's a dollar store Diego Gomez.
That's insane.
That's wild. That's diabolical, Mitch. Box to box with the first touch of a trampoline, cinder block feet. This is by far the dime of the day. This is the best comment so far tonight, Mitch.
Oh my gosh. I actually saw a comment that said like Benja like what did it say? It said like something cementchi, like
Yeah,
Benja
Semenci,
cementchi.
yes. I
I couldn't
look
find it.
now. Circus Fun saying 180 watching and only 1 like. So you're telling me, Circus Fun, that my
What?
son is the only one that liked this video, guys?
That's insane.
Literally, just a scroll up and click the thumbs up button. It's free 99, guys. Come on.
I think they don't like the fact that Danish is not here.
They can all eat it.
Then
Now,
what?
yeah, go ahead. You were
No,
gonna
no,
say?
go. No, go.
No, I mean, look, Mr. Fact saying Allende should be jailed. I mean,
And then
other
Allende scored.
yes,
Allende scored. He had remember that like one play in the beginning where he like slipped and like everybody was like clowning him. I thought that was kind of funny, but no, he ended up scoring, and I guess it like built his confidence. He had a nice run in behind. I'm not gonna lie to you, their defense was pretty atrocious. Like
really bad.
it was really bad. So it made us look really good when we had like balls in behind or put in like through balls. But now he scored, and it only takes 1 goal to get a lot of confidence. So yeah, no, I think I have a lot of faith in Ashinda this year. Hopefully he can turn out to be something good.
Well, I'll tell you, when I was watching the game and I saw Allende blow that kick when he was by himself, not by
Yeah.
himself, but like he had it wide
Essentially.
open.
Yeah.
He just blew it. I said to myself, oh no, this is going to be the moment that everybody remembers in preseason. But then he gets his better opportunity later. Now, luckily, Matt, nothing happens up until the dying embers of the first half,
Mhm.
where Ben Krem, who gets a goal, who everybody right now is hating on in the chat,
Yep.
assisted by Chelo Weigand,
Chelo.
who everybody is hating in the chat. So, but now there was something I brought up in the Discord when we were watching the live stream. I said, Chelo isn't the greatest crosser, but he's decent. Why don't they work it on Chelo's side? Literally 5 minutes later, they worked it on Chelo's side, and then he did that beautiful pass that made it to Ben Krem, which I thought he was going to pass it, by the way. But luckily, he just tapped it right into the back of the net. What did you think so far ending the first half? What were your thoughts ending the first half, especially on that note where we finally got a goal?
I was like, thank God, because like imagine going down, and I say this with all the respect in the world. Imagine going down 1-0 against San Miguelito when we were like, we were for sure the better team on paper, and I'm like, that just can't be like, that can't be a good way to end the half. So at least with Ben Krem and Chelo Weigand linking with that goal, I thought it was good, and him putting that cross in, I guess, kind of surprised me. I don't know why. I just feel like Gressel seems like the type of person to be whipping in a cross that's like assist worthy. I wouldn't expect that from Chelo, but that's just me. That's just me being a Chelo hater. That's just me like completely hating on Chelo for no reason. Like that's just me. I don't know why. Like I have no idea. I don't know if I think I'm blindsided by it. Like at this point. Like so, anytime that I see Chelo do something good, I'm just gonna be like, "Oh, okay, maybe he is good."
Imagine he just turns it around and he's like the 5th best player on this team. Like
he's gonna win like the Landon Donovan Award or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean that'll be wild. That'll be wild.
No, look, but no, I was happy that we were able to equalize it. So.
Frankland, don't be disrespectful.
Guy,
with the mat out,
just because I'm a Chelo hater. Listen, freaking Mike V was the biggest Tata out hate. Like he was the president of the Tata out club. Okay, and we all laughed at it. I think we should start a Chelo hate club. I'll be the president of the Chelo hate club.
I mean, you're gonna have an opposition of Danny because he loves Chelo for some reason. He doesn't like Chelo slander, even though he knows that Chelo is super mid.
I don't like I said, I don't hate him, but he is mid. Like that's the thing. Like he's mid. He's mid and he needs to be benched. He needs to be humbled. And I just need to see it you know what I can't wait? I can't wait to see Chelo get benched. And then like the Better Chelo podcast. I can't wait to see Chelo get benched, and then Lujan or someone else or Gressel or whoever it is,
Yeah.
just like absolutely take over that role. And then Chelo's gonna be like, well, shit, maybe I am mid. And then I'll be like, yes. I'll be like, I told you, go
You were
back to
mid as
training and
hell.
get better in training. Work harder in training. All right.
So
Okay,
the first, yeah. I mean, look, listen, lead it. If you're gonna lead it, you lead it. And yes, Mitch, we're gonna get started on that. The Battercello podcast immediately. Okay. Now, I mean, look,
Chelo hurt
Cello,
me.
Cello hurt him apparently. I do think. Look, and Peach is saying I don't think he needs to be humble, but yes, he needs some competition for his shirt. I do think that he does need Lujan to compete with him. Ian Frey, you could already tell that he can be able to compete with him.
1000%.
It's not outright at this moment because Ian Frey has to kind of show that he's, his stability is going to be there. But we're just time is going to have to tell.
Yeah.
Bigote saying Matt is now my favorite YouTuber. So let's go.
Okay, I got one member. I got one.
Now, starting the second half, it felt very different, right? Aside from something not very different, which is we always come on late on the pitch to start the second half.
Even against Sporting Sen, Miguelito. Like, I don't know what statement we were trying to make there, but hey, do you, I guess. I mean, hey.
I don't get it.
I don't know. Like, what do you think they were trying to say? Like, what do you think? Okay, I want to know your opinion on this because they've done this a couple times now before we get into the second half. Like, what if you were your team? If you were Messi, if you were captaining the team, are you saying in the locker room, okay, guys, like just to piss them off and just to get in their head, we're gonna show up like 5 minutes late. Like we're gonna show up to the field 5 minutes late. Are you doing that?
Well, it's the thing. Danny thinks that there's someone that always has to take a poop before starting the second half. So like they don't want to come out until that person completes their business. At least that's what his working theory is. I feel like honestly, it's not that. I feel like it's a mind game thing.
You think it's a mind game thing?
I do think that there's something there where they're just like, let's just take it a little easy. Let's not walk out there right away. I don't know why against San Miguelito.
It's like, oh, you're on my time. Like you're on our time. Like, yeah, we're in your house.
Yeah.
But we come out when we are ready to come out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't tell us when to come out. We're going to come out when we're ready. It's kind of like a authority thing.
So like a machismo thing. Like
a machismo thing. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, Eden is saying mind games. But then Mike V saying Suarez has the halftime shits.
I mean, if Suarez is taking a shit for 15 minutes, like, because you have to walk into locker room, poop.
Yes.
15 minutes late or 20 minutes later, if you're going to be late, 20 minutes later, like, what are you eating? What are you eating? Like, before the game? I don't know.
Stancy says too much mate stimulates the bowels. Rick A is saying Suarez looks like a halftime pooper. I don't know.
When you gotta go, man.
Yeah, man. Well, Calypso saying it's both. So you think that they're doing poop and it's mind games? So is it like a synchronized pooping at that time? Like I don't know.
Like, yo, we're gonna stink up your toilet.
Yeah.
So then you gotta clean that after the game, and then you can smell it as you're walking out of the locker room. You can smell the poop.
Yes.
It's all mind games.
It is. It's all mind games. Now, at that point, we start the second half, and immediately Real San Miguelito does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 substitutions, or 8 substitutions, I believe. Or at least that's how they have it listed here. I don't think it was 7 or 8 substitutions. I don't remember so many substitutions being made in the beginning of the game like this, in the beginning of the second half.
I didn't remember.
But it says here that they made 7 substitutions.
3, 4, 5,
is that right?
7. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
7 substitutions were made in the beginning of the first of the second half.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Maybe you want to just make sure that nobody gets injured and stuff.
But 7 substitutions is a little insane. We didn't
That's
make our
it
first sub
is.
until what, the 60th minute?
It wasn't until the 58th minute where Ben
58th minute.
Krem came out and David Ruiz came
Right.
in, and then Tadeo Allende came out, and then Fafa Picot
Fafa
came
came
in
in.
as well. Yeah. So yeah, I mean Dennis is saying 7 subs, mind blown emoji.
They're
I
still talking about the toilets.
yeah. Might be saying if San Miguelito played with the first team the entire game, we would have tied, not one. Let that sink. I don't think so, Mike. The one thing I loved about the second half is that we came out guns blazing, super high press. You know, the line lifted. There was no way they were going to get behind us. And that led us to our very next goal, where Allende, who was put in the perfect position by Luis Suarez, beautiful assist, by the way, after Luis Suarez allegedly takes his poop, 3 minutes later, he basically gives a beautiful assist to Tadeo Allende, who blew a kick earlier. What did you think about that play?
Suarez was looking pretty light. That's what he was looking pretty light.
Yes.
He was looking light. He was able to he was able to move good. No, but seriously, I thought it was good play. I mean, and that's something that I think we saw for the rest of the second half too. I mean, we had a lot of over the tops. It was a really nice over the top, and it was really poor defending on their end, but we were able to capitalize on it. And Tadeo Allende, even though he got laid out, I don't know if you saw that tackle that he made like as soon as the shot went off, but he got laid out. I don't know how bad it was, but I'm glad that Ashendo got on the board. It's great for his confidence. It was a great play, and it can calm his nerves a little bit more, because I think we all knew he was a little bit nervous in that first game against El Universitario.
Yeah.
Starting again in this game, maybe he had a little bit more nerves, especially after he slipped. He probably was like, damn, bro, everybody saw me slip.
Yeah.
Like he was definitely embarrassed, but he was able to make up for it, and he had a lot of confidence, and it was just really good overall. I'm happy for him, for real.
Well, and Mike V saying we came out guns blazing against their like 3-team subs that sell coconuts on the beach, bro. I mean, look, we play against whoever they put us in front of, Mike V. How do you know that they're coconut salesmen?
So Mike's saying that if those 7 subs were never made
that
at the start of the half, that we would have just tied. We would have just went 1-1 and went to penalties.
Maybe he thinks 2-2. Mike V, you think 1-1 or 2-2? I wonder what he thinks, that if we would have actually been graceful enough to get another goal, or if that was it. They were going to lock us down with their amazing defense.
We looked too good to only score, or to not score more than a goal. We were going to score more. A lot of people are rating Ashende's second half performance in the comments.
Well, his second half performance to me was great. And one of the things that I noticed starting the second half, by the way, Mike V here says it would have been 2-2. And I mean, I think in the second half, one of the keys that they did was they switched Kremaki. They put him in the right wing, and they brought Tadeo Allende and they put him in the left wing, which made, to me, a critical change. At that point, I thought Tadeo Allende, he could fight for that left wing role.
1,000. No, I am 1,000%. I actually thought he was going to play on the left originally in the beginning of the game. I thought Kremachi was going to play on the right.
Yes.
When they did make that, it's great that you pointed that out, because I honestly wasn't even going to point it out, but it's great that you pointed it out, because he definitely felt like comfortable. He looked comfortable, like playing there, and so now we have Fafa, Robert Taylor, Allende playing in that left wing, Leo Afonso if he wants to compete for that. We have. We're looking good in that spot. I'm feeling really good about that left wing spot.
I'm telling you right now, a lot of people are a lot of people are going to be okay with Fafa coming off the bench if Allende plays like this second half Allende for a majority of the season.
Oh yeah.
Because again, you have Fafa coming in, he's lights out, and he's a speedster against tired players.
And it showed, because he came on in the 58th minute.
Yes, he came on. Yep.
And then he was able to just run circles around him, to be honest, and he ended up scoring that goal.
That's the very next goal that we ended up having was immediately after the 58th minute. 6 minutes later, at the 64th minute, Fafa ends up getting a score off of David Ruiz, who was doing his best interpretation of Messi. He started like handling the ball a lot better. And for those of you who didn't think that thought I was talking shit about David Ruiz versus Ben Krem, you guys see the handle that David Ruiz has, his touch and everything.
I was just gonna say you're huge on Ruiz, right? Do you think
Yes.
Ruiz is better than Benja?
I think he's more, he has a better touch than Benha. I think he handles the ball better than Benha. I think Benha shows a lot more sort of grit. He's more like Diego Gomez-ish with like his pace and his aggressiveness. But I feel like David Ruiz is more of a chess player. And
Okay.
Benha's like a checkers player.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, I don't
Yeah.
know if that makes any sense.
No, I honestly I completely understand. Ruiz was looking good.
Yeah.
He was looking good on the ball. He was looking really, really good on the ball. And then when I saw that performance, or when I saw him come on and then go in with that confidence, with his ball handling, with his skills, his dribbling, I'm like, damn, he's looking really good. Because
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that he was always capable of doing, but for some reason I just couldn't like remember a time that he did that. I don't
Yeah.
know if that's just like my bad memory,
Yeah.
but when I saw that, I'm like, damn, he's looking really, really good. So like we could
He's got
really,
sauce.
yeah, he was looking
He's got
saucy. He was
yeah.
he was definitely looking saucy. So I'm like, they got some competition. It's looking, a lot of people were, and I don't want to go too off topic, but a lot of people were talking about how we don't have enough depth in certain areas. But it's like I feel like we have good, like healthy amount of depth and competition in various positions, and I feel like we're looking good. But no, Ruiz coming off the bench and Fafa coming, and Fafa scored what? Fafa scored in like his first or second touch of the game, which made it
Yeah.
even better, I think. So yeah,
Yes, it
no,
did.
they were both they both looked fantastic, honestly.
Well, after that, what's this guy? Aidar, I guess Rivera. He ended up getting 2 yellow cards, got a red card in the 70th minute. I think this was when the scuffle was going down with the
This
tackle
was
situation.
the kid that like scissor like tackled Messi. Is that kid?
Yes,
Oh,
I
okay.
think it was the same kid. It was after that, there was a play where Messi tried to nutmeg him. He didn't let it happen. He was
Mhm.
trying to sort of bump him, and then Messi boxed him out, got really great position, and then the fisticuffs came out. Apparently, someone mentioned in the Discord that Sergio Busquets got punched by the opposing goalkeeper in the face. I didn't even see that.
I didn't even see that
Uh,
either.
yeah, somebody said that the goalkeeper on the other team punched Busquets in the face. Yeah, I don't
What?
know. I'm gonna have to look back at that whole Royal Rumble of a match. I
But
didn't see that.
they were getting pretty dirty. They were getting
Yes.
super, super like frustrated,
Yeah.
San Miguelito. And I really thought, dude, oh my God, like my heart, like you should have seen it. Like I wish I was unmuted because I was watching in the Discord
Yeah.
when that moment happened. I wish I unmuted because I yelled so loud. I was like, no, and because he came in so hard and so fast, and it was to Messi, and I'm like, dude, you can't be making that kind of tackle, like at a friendly game to Lionel Messi of all people. Like that could end his season.
I
But
mean,
no, luckily Messi got up like a freaking gangster though. I don't like he got up like yeah, nah, that was nothing. That was light. I
my
thought
name
it
is
was badass.
Jeff. Says that guy tackling Messi like that in a friendly was insane.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It should have gotten red card immediately. I don't know what took so long to get that guy off the pitch.
Yeah, no, he was definitely. The ref tried so hard not to give out a red card because it's a friendly. You don't want to give out a
Yeah.
red card in a friendly, but it's like in that situation. And then like what? A couple of minutes later, that same guy he like started. I think he full on punched Messi. I don't know if you like got an
I
angle of
didn't
it.
see that. No, I didn't
Like
see
I don't
that.
know if he like okay maybe maybe it's a little dramatic, but like there was a little like arm movement. I don't know if anybody in the chat uh can support my claim, but like there was a certain angle. If you looked at it from the side, he like I don't know if he like side hit Messi like with his left arm, like because you know how he was getting all up on him,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then like I think he kind of like went like this, like against his like ribs or something, and then Messi just like he
Ooh.
just kept bodying him, and then it eventually got off because Messi's a freaking gangster, and he was like,
Yeah,
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 that
yeah.
doesn't bother me. But I don't know. Yeah, no, he was getting upset for no reason, and that kid is only 19 years old, and he's trying to end Messi's career. He's trying to be the kid that is known for ending Messi's career, but that just did not happen. Messi was not letting him have it.
Yeah, I mean, Fred Spot is saying a tackle from behind with studs up should be an auto red. Doing it on Messi makes it 3
It's
reds.
3 reds with open legs too. Like he went in like this.
Yes. Yeah.
Whatever.
No, it's out of control. I mean, sorry. Dennis Lopez sums it up best. He says it was an unfriendly. Let me go ahead and change the microphone. What's up? Unfriendly. Diabolical.
And unfriendly.
Yeah. So second half, after that ended up happening, Ian Frey comes in for Weigand. Santi Morales comes in for Messi, which I wanted to see a lot more from Santi Morales. I think he could have cooked in this game against this team. And then San Miguelito ends up making like 45 other substitutions.
Yeah.
And then Noah Allen gets out for Taylor. Yannick Bright comes out for Gressel, which I didn't even see that Gressel ended up playing right back. I thought it was going to be Ian Frey riding out at that position the whole time.
That's what I saw too. I like they like switched to a wide angle, and I saw Gressel like ask for the ball, and then I'm like, that's not Ian Frey. And then like it was Gressel. I'm like, oh, he's playing right back. And then I saw Ian Frey. I think he went to
That's
like the left center back or I don't know, one of the center back spots. So I'm like, oh, okay, so maybe we could see Gressel playing at that right back spot more, and then like Fafa in front of him or whoever. So it was but like you said about Santi, I have such a good I've said this in my like streams, and my like commentary or my reactions. I have such a good feeling about Santi. I don't want to put too much pressure on the kid because he's like 17 years old.
Yeah.
But he looks, for somebody who's 17 years old, to have the thing that he has, like he has something.
Yeah.
And we all can see it. And there's a lot of potential there. And so I feel like he could really, off the bench, I think he'll be a really, really exciting player to look out for this season, in my opinion. I don't know if anybody else agrees with that, but I think this kid is somebody to look out for this season.
Well, Bigote wants to hear your take on Cello, but before we get to your take on Cello,
we already did this.
Yeah,
we already went over this.
Let's talk about the minutes that the starters played. These guys in the chat were killing me because every time we would play a game before, when we would preview it, I'd literally say Messi's not playing more than 30 minutes. He plays more. He's not playing more than 40 minutes. He plays more.
Yeah.
This game, he's played the most minutes out of every single other pregame game this season so far. So how did you feel about the minutes that the starters ended up getting?
Honestly, I would have preferred. Well, I mean, Mascherano says first of all, like they're gonna play as much as they can, like as long as they're healthy and as long as they can actually play, then they're gonna play. I'm glad that Messi got like what he played. I'm looking here that he has 77 minutes played. Is that what you have?
Messi?
Yeah.
That he played. You're talking about in this game?
Yes, he's 77 minutes.
77 minutes. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think honestly, I thought that was a lot, especially when the game was getting out of control, and that's probably why he came off at the end of the day, like because Mascherano saw that he was just getting bodied by these guys, and he didn't want to risk anything. But I thought Suarez playing the full 90 was a bit much. I mean, like he definitely like. I think for the starters, I think playing more than 70 minutes is too much in these friendlies.
Yeah.
I think it's way too much because it's like that's risk. We can use that time to try out other guys and get other guys fit and ready. But I mean, hey, he played 77 minutes. He didn't get injured. Nobody got injured. Thank God.
It's a success.
So it's all good. It's all good. What about you?
I mean, I was okay with the minutes, and it seemed like he got off in fair spirits. I feel like the way that it looked, especially with the way things sort of kind of transpired towards the end with all of the physicality and the fighting, I feel like maybe he would have stuck around for another 5 7 minutes.
Sure.
But I mean, at some point you got to take him out. It's a preseason game. It's a
Yeah.
friendly. You don't want to risk the injury either. You gotta reserve him as much as you can for the regular season. Now, before we get into the standouts, I want to ask you: did you find it surprising, or were you not surprised that Redondo not only didn't get the start, but didn't even come off the bench?
I am not surprised at all. And I definitely want to hear the comments go off on this one. But I was so happy. And I talked about it because I went live like 15 or like 30 minutes before the game
Yeah.
for like 15 minutes. And I said, I was so happy that Redondo was not starting for this game because
Yeah.
he was mid. He was so mid in these last two games. I don't know if people are the same way about Redondo like how they are with Chelo.
Yeah.
But like I thought he was so mid. I thought he was so inconsistent last year. But just putting last year aside, he was so
Yeah.
mid, and I thought he deserved to get benched. And putting Bright out there, I thought he just deserved to play. Like Bright deserves his start. Ruiz deserved to even he deserved to start. Like I think we have other midfielders that deserve the start in that position over Redondo. So I am not surprised at all that he didn't play.
Upcode is saying Redondo.
Redondo.
I mean, Rick A is saying Danny is punching the air right now. And then Dennis Lopez.
Is Danny
Oh,
a Redondo fan?
He says that Redondo is going to be one of those guys that he already cemented in the ground. Watch out for this guy.
Oh, I don't doubt it, but
Like this guy's going to be the guy this year.
Okay.
I don't know the words that Danny used, but he basically said, he actually said that Redondo, he wouldn't be surprised if he sees Redondo going to a Premier League team next year.
Next in 2026?
Yes.
I don't know.
That's what he says. So
I don't know.
Standouts, let's talk about who stood out to you. So if you were to tell me, I guess one or two players standouts, or I guess I'll go first.
Yeah.
A player that stood out to me was Allende. He stood out to me a lot. He did a lot better than he did in the last game, especially when they finally put him at left wing. He stood out to me incredibly. And then the other player that stood out to me was, I'm going to go with Noah Allen. Again, Noah Allen is bend, don't break. He's been solid in the back line as the center back to the left of Aviles. So those are two players, I guess I would say, sort of stood out to me.
I was gonna match you with Allen. The fact that Allen has started all of these games is a really good sign, and clearly he deserves it.
Yeah,
and it's awesome to see, and I love it. I love how like a kid down the street that literally lives like down the street, like gets like the starting position with all of these international guys and all these international players and superstars. So I think it's awesome that Allen can fit into this Mascherano system. I hear you on Allende. I thought a player that stood out to me for this game was really Ruiz. I thought Ruiz did really well off the bench. And it's just something I wasn't expecting because like we have so many good midfielders and Redondo's supposed to be that guy. We're supposed to have Telasco Segovia come in.
Yes.
And things like that, right? And apparently we're linked with Baltasar and wherever. But regardless, like we have so much competition in that midfield role, and then Ruiz comes in and shows like so much confidence on the ball, so much skill when it's at his feet, when the ball's at his feet, and a lot of calmness. Like it just shows that it's like, okay, yeah, like I can compete with these guys. I can compete with Telasco. I can compete with Redondo, with Bright, with whoever. And so I'm like, I think it's a really good sign coming from Ruiz. So that's definitely, those two are definitely standouts for me personally.
So then who would be your man of the match other than Messi, because as far as I know, from what I see here, Dennis Lopez posted Suarez 8.0, 765 Ben Krem, 7.5 Messi. So I imagine Messi had one of the higher ratings. But who's your man of the match other than Messi?
Should I just give it a cello for shits and giggles?
Ugh.
Can I get it? After just talking all
I
that
guess.
smack about that.
Yeah, Cello got my man of the match award.
Okay. This is I think this is a pretty hard question because I was trying to think of it this whole time. But I thought we all in all as a team, we played really, really good. Everybody's like, do not. Everyone's like, do not. Honestly, I want to give it to. You know what? I'm gonna give it to Bushi. This might be so basic. This is really basic, but I'm gonna give it a Bushi, and I want to give it a Bushi, not just for this game, but Bushi's like the most consistent player that we have on this team.
It's a very good choice.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Bushi because I've said this, and I've said this all of 2024. Like, if Bushi's not in this team, I feel like we just completely fall apart. And I feel like we've witnessed that a couple times last year where Bushi would not be in the lineup, very few times. But like when he wouldn't be in the lineup, it's like, damn, like it's not the same. But just like Bushi is the pendulum, is like the literal heartbeat of this team. And so I'm gonna give it to him. I think yeah. Or I could have just gave it a cello, but I'm gonna give it to Bushi.
I actually like that. I like that choice. Boosie, it's like, look, he wasn't the sexiest player on the pitch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he didn't have anything that stood out, but he did exactly what you'd expect somebody of his caliber to do.
Oh yeah.
He was he was maintained well under pressure. He played decent defense. He moved the ball up consistently without any issues. I'll tell you, as far as my man of the match is concerned, I'd probably go with Allende. I think Allende played pretty well. I thought that he played defense pretty well. And I feel like, especially when they moved him over to the left wing, he showed a lot of what we're kind of looking for. And it hurts to say it because I really want Taylor to stay with that position. But if Allende pulls out performances like this consistently for the next couple games, then I don't see anybody taking that position, not even Fafa. Because Fafa's first two appearances in that position starting, Allende played the first half on the right side. Yeah. He only had like about 15, 20 minutes on the left. So imagine getting Allende out on the left side. So that performance would be hella crazy versus Fafa's on the left side over the last two games prior to that. So
you didn't rate Fafa? You don't rate Fafa like that much?
So it's weird because Fafa, when he came in, he's like so coveted, right? Like an MLS sort of guy. He's a local guy, speedster, like game changer. So he was like very high placed when he came to the team. So obviously that sort of sets your expectation pretty high, right? When he performs the way that he did in the first two games, I was like, this doesn't look like all the stuff that I heard and saw about this guy. But then Allende comes and he plays 15, 20 minutes in the left wing and he automatically makes a difference. I think if I watch the game back, in the beginning of the first half, in the first 10 minutes, I felt like I saw Luis Suarez pulling back further and Allende playing sort of a striker role. And so, I mean, but that's something that you didn't see in the first half. He didn't feel comfortable enough to do it. So Allende is my man of the match. Yes.
I like it. I like that pick because I feel like he wouldn't be a lot of men, like people's man of the match. But I like that pick because you were so right, and that's something that I genuinely didn't notice like at the time. But now, like thinking back on it, it's like, well, yeah. So and he did get inside, like he did cut into like a striker position from that left hand side.
He moved it in that play specifically. That play before he scored the goal. The time prior when they had the possession of the ball, he was in an advanced role in the middle of the pitch. It wasn't even over on the left wing. Thomas is saying Chris hating on Fafa. I'm not hating on Fafa. I'm just saying that like his expectation when he came to the squad was just a very high. So I expected very high things out of Fafa. And look, it's preseason.
You're not wrong at all. Like you're literally not wrong. I agree 100% with what you're saying.
And maybe it's preseason. These guys are working the kinks out, but it's just something that I expected so far a better I expected to say more positive things about Fafa than I would about Allende at this point in time, especially with Allende. He just came onto this team like 72 hours ago is what it feels like.
Yeah.
I
don't like his first training session was like these last couple of days, no? Like I don't think like before the first game he didn't train at all with the team. So it's like
supercalifragilistic. I get it. It's preseason. Yes, I get it.
Rick A says
I would never do that. That's serial killer stuff right there, Rick A. And talking about bad stuff like cereal after the milk, let's go to the Que Pena Award. So the Que Pena Award is the guy who played the worst wearing rosa y negro. So who would you give the Que Pena Award to? I'll tell you my Que Pena Award.
Oh, yeah, go for it. If you have it ready, go for it.
My Que Pena Award is going to go to Luis Suarez.
Oh.
My Que Pena, even though he had an assist.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with Luis Suarez with the Que Pena Award because Messi literally cooked up like 6 guys in one play, assisted a beautiful pass to Luis Suarez, and Luis Suarez taps it to the chest of the goalkeeper like the goalkeeper's holding a newborn baby. He also had a couple other attempts at the ball, putting it in the back of the net, and he missed them. Now, this is preseason version of Luis Suarez, guys, so don't send the army at me. I'm pretty sure he's going to be better, but the Que Pena goes to Suarez, and Mike V agrees as well.
I was going to say, I think people agree with you because he wasn't. I feel like he was complaining like he always does, right, all the time.
Yes,
but he was the one that was messing it up. So like he would complain. Like after he missed a shot, he would like look at somebody and then like throw his arms in the air, even though he skied it like to row Z in the stadium, in this 30,000 seat stadium. So like I want to side with you because, like I said, I thought overall we played really well.
Yes,
but Suarez, and like you said, even though Suarez got an assist, like he definitely could have bagged like. He could have bagged like 2 or 3 goals. I want to say,
yes,
and he didn't try as nearly hard enough. And yeah, like you said, it could be preseason, but no, I think I'm siding with you. That's a good pick. No, I really like that. I really like that pick.
I don't know if we could cram in goalie talk for the next 5-10 minutes, but I need to know if this is true. I don't know if you have Foot Mob open.
I do.
But worst Foot Mob rating equals Ustadi? There's no way, Dennis.
So Ustadi's rating is a 6.2. It's tied with Ian Frey's rating at 6.2. That is the lowest. Those are the 2 lowest scores.
So out of all the starters, Ustadi got the lowest rating at 6.2.
Correct. Then in terms of starters, he got the lowest rating. I mean,
what about starting field players?
Lowest.
But other than Ustadi.
6.6, Noah Allen.
Wow.
For starters. Off the bench, Santi got a 6.4, and then Ian Frey got a 6.2, but they came off the bench. They played like 15 minutes.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, no, Noah Allen got a 6.6, Bright got a 6.8, and then Boosie is 7.0.
I'm not saying you're lying, Dennis. I just couldn't believe it. I mean, Foot Mob, there are you guys in Foot Mob who, if somebody from Foot Mob watches this show, you guys are assassins. You're giving 6.4 to Santi Morales? Guy came on and had a cup of coffee and then got off the pitch.
You know what's so crazy? I'm looking at his stat. I know that like soccer's not statistics. No one, first of all, everybody that's watching right now, don't take Foot Mob's rating seriously because I feel like these are always wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at his stats. Ustari stats. 90 minutes played. He has 1 save. He conceded 1 goal. He has 26 out of 27 passes completed. So a 96% passing completion rate. Long balls, he has 8 out of 9 completed. Diving save, he made 1 diving save. He made 1 save inside the box. He made 3 recoveries, and he had 30 touches. I feel like you should get a 7 for that.
That's
like you
good.
passed, you made a couple saves. I think he made like 2 saves. I don't know. I think like that's a little bit more than a 6.2.
Well, Jack Cart's saying "fuck mob is joke, soft score is real." Look, I'll tell you honestly,
all my life.
I think honestly, Ustari played phenomenal. And if I was Drake Callender watching this game, with the way that they played it back to Ustari so comfortably, and let me tell you, there were passes that Ustari made long range, like volley, like real long passes,
like risky passes. Like as a goalkeeper, those are yeah.
The preciseness that he hit those passes with. I would be shook if I was
Drake. Would
at this
never.
point.
He would never do that.
I would be scared if I was Drake, to be honest.
Amen. But Danny thinks that Drake is our starting keeper, right?
I mean, look, this is wild. This is wild because I was on the Drake train. I was like, okay, this is our guy. But Ustari's performance today as a goalkeeper, I mean, I think in the first, 5-10 minutes or like 10-15 minutes, I think there was a shot that Ustari had to like get off on a trampoline to block. I forgot what it was, but it was like a shot where it was coming across his body. He had to dive to the side.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have to look back at the highlights, but it's definitely looking really good for Ustari. I mean, Mr. Krabs saying he had a 6-6 on Sofa score.
So it's not that much better.
Yeah, the new Dos striker, you striker. I could take that. Okay, it's a little forced, but I'll take it.
Oh, like Dos Santos, like he's saying Dos.
Yeah,
striker,
like Dos striker, striker. Ustari passed to Messi 30 meters. Okay.
Welcome to the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm telling you right now, it looks really good for Ustari now. That's kind of all I wanted to say about the whole goalie situation at this moment.
I personally think I don't know who's gonna start. I don't know who's our number 1 keeper is gonna be, but I feel very good about it. Like I feel very good about our goalkeeping situation compared to 2024. I loved having Dos Santos on the bench because I thought he was a young kid who was able to like grow into something pretty good.
Yeah.
But I didn't like the fact that Drake was our only keeper. And like no matter what, I don't think I ever hated on Drake like last year.
Yeah.
But I was like, it sucked the fact that he couldn't, like, we didn't have a replacement for him. Like, we just couldn't swap him out if anything were to happen. Yeah. But now that we have Ustari and now that we have Rocco, I feel much more secure in that goalkeeping position, whether Drake has it, whether Ustari has it. So it's like no matter what, we'll have a pretty decent goalkeeper in net regardless. So we'll see what happens. I mean, like, we'll see like who'll be our number 1 when the season comes around. But like I said, I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, I mean, I do too, and a lot of people love it. I think that the competition is great, and I think that it's healthy for goalkeepers 1,000%. To have steady competition. Now, before we get to our final thoughts, one goal we have to talk about because she says, "Okay, I'm back, Chris. My Italia moment of the match was the tackle on Messi's bodyguard by random pitch invader fan." So we always We always ask, what's the Italia moment of the match? What was your Italia moment of the match in today's game?
But what's the reference for the Italia moment of the match?
Well, because there was we do post games, and she always asked for what's our moment of the match, like the one moment of the match that shined brighter than most. Okay. So I would say I like the fact that and this is not on the match in particular, but that kid that had the balls to get on the pitch to go take a selfie with Messi. Apparently, he's going to be paying like $1,000 fine. He's going to be paying that fine happily with his selfie of Messi and his
Because
phone.
he got
and
it, right?
Yes, he did. He stood right in front of him, just taking selfies, and then the bodyguard walked him out with his arm around his shoulder.
Right.
Yeah. So that was, I guess, my Italia moment of the match.
I mean, like, to beat that, there's really nothing better than that, to be honest. I thought the
Yes.
Italia moment of the match was probably that freaking defender. I forget, Imar Kandumi or whatever his name is, just tackling the hell out of Messi. I thought that was the moment
Yes.
of the match.
That was wild. That was
I
wild.
thought that was insane, dude. The
It's
balls to do that.
a pre-game match friendly. Like Messi comes to Panama to go play in front of like Panama, and
Yeah.
you're literally gonna be the villain in this whole place.
Yes. Oh my god. And he got sent off. He deserved it.
Well,
Fred Spot asks, why is Italia?
Huh?
Fred Spot asks, like, why Italia? Like, why Italia moment?
Well, because Italia was the first one that brought it to our attention, sort of asking, what's your guys' moment of the match? And we never really posed that question to each other. And so we made it the Italia moment of the match. So we gotta pay respects. And Italia, she's from the old days, from the Miami Fusion days. You gotta give respect to the OGs, you know?
Hell yeah. I love that.
So before we get, final thoughts. What were your final thoughts of today's game, just generally speaking?
I love that. I just love the fact that we scored more than a goal, and we actually won the game, and not like went into penalties and then won the game.
Yeah.
I'm just feeling we're still working around the edges, I guess, right? Like there's still work to be done, but we're still in preseason. But I think at the end of the day, I'm feeling very confident about this team. I think even if you look back, not just on this game, but for the other games, I think I feel good. I feel good about the team. I feel really good about the team, and everything's gelling. Everything's coming together pretty well. And it was a pretty entertaining second half to watch compared to the first. So that's what I think. Overall, I think just another game.
I think that everybody's on the same boat with you. Like, finally, we ended a game without having to go into some like penalty situation, just so that way the fans can have some goals happen. See goals during the game.
Right.
That was fun. I feel like this so far has been the edgiest game of the preseason. And next up, we're going to be going over to Honduras. So it gets only edgier after this. Okay, because you guys think that David Ruiz is edgy. Imagine playing against 10, 11 other David
a
Ruizes.
team of them.
Yeah. So it's going to be problematic. Like, I'm hoping that we can have a full squad when we pull up on Valentine's Day against Orlando City. So my final thoughts is I love the edginess. I loved spicy Messi. I love that it was a lot more competitive, and we got to see a good showing out of players like Allende who are new to this team. Yep. So that's very good. So before we ride out, Matt, any final thoughts?
Danny says in the chat that Ustadi getting nutmeg was the moment of the match.
Where did he say that? I don't see his comment.
I just scrolled up a little bit. Somebody mentioned him. If you go up a couple to 8:11 p.m.
Oh, you know what, Danny? Get out of here. Okay? Nobody's talking to you, Danny, with your cello love.
Okay? Danny, they miss you though.
Yeah. Nobody misses him. Don't do that, man.
No, but, hey, everybody's coming at me because I hate. Well, not that I hate cello, but that I've been talking smack on cello. And everyone's for cello. So so far I put everybody against me at this point until they prove me right. Until cello proves me right. I'm
gonna put a poll on the Discord and see if everybody loves cello. I want to see the results of that.
I want to see that too.
Yeah. And before we write out, Matt, let everybody know where they could be able to find you and all your stuff.
Yeah, YouTube. I mean, on all social platforms, SoFlo Soccer. We do Inter Miami content, of course, on that channel, and there's a bunch of football, world football content on the channel as well, Premier League and Champions League and things like that. So if that's the kind of stuff that you like, feel free to check me out. And Chris, thank you again so much for having me for tonight. It was a blast, like always. And yeah, will you have any final thoughts?
No, that's it. It was a pleasure to have you on, Matty Ice. Literally, you're the fucking best. Honorary battered Herons fam right here, and Las Garzas también. So make sure to be able to follow him at all of his stuff at SoFlo Soccer, and he always is always available to hop on with us as well. So, check that out. Dude, Albides is talking crazy. Cello equals solid. No, you know who's solid is Busquets was solid. Cello, mid. If you call mid solid, then we got some problems. But guys, chat, thank you guys so much. Matt, thank you so much for being on the show with me and hanging out with the chat. And for those of you that are listening on audio, thank you guys so much. Leave 5 stars and put in the comments, Danny, Cello sucks. And make sure to put 5 stars, please. Okay. And for those of you that are watching live, go ahead and click the like button, subscribe, tell your friends. There's a Inter Miami podcast out here talking about all kinds of stuff. And chat, you guys are literally the best part of the show. Matt, thank you again for being on the show. Danny, that's in the chat, you suck big time. And guys, we're going to be on tomorrow night. So until the next one, have a good one.
Have a good night, guys.